Let me ask you something. Let me run something by you real quick, okay? Listen. Look at me in the eyes when you answer this question too. All right? No funny business. Now, when you see somebody walk outside the house, they got new shoes, new haircut, new fit on. Do you see their aura? If you say no, you're lying, okay? Because when I walk outside the house with a new outfit, new shoes, and a new haircut, I know I can exhibit aura. All right, I feel it. Okay, this is all going to be relevant very soon, and let me tell you why. Back in 1911, Walter J. Killner published The Human Atmosphere, or Aura. Basically, Walter wanted to see people's auras with the naked eye and felt it could be a benefit to the medical field and could be an indicator for health and mood. So he started working on his invention. Walter began to work on glass sliders, or Killner screens, treating the glass with alcoholic solutions of variously colored dyes to perceive electromagnetic radiation outside the normal spectrum of visible light. Treatment of the screens notably involved dicyanin, a toxic coal tar dye originally used in infrared sensitization of photographic plates. Using these prototype goggles, Walter said, as I quote, had very deleterious effects upon our eyes, making them very painful. But after regular viewing and sufficient training, one could dispense with the apparatus. When Walter said that the goggles were hard to wear over time, I immediately thought of looking through the Nintendo VR back in the day that was made with the red, contrast on it, just straining your eyes. You take that off, your eyes are beet red, looking like the goddamn devil or something. But besides, burning your entire retina looking into Nintendo VRs, Walter actually did achieve his goal. According to his study, Killner and his associates were able on many occasions to perceive auric formations, which he called the etheric double, the inner aura and the outer aura, extending several inches from patient's naked body. Imagine just going to the doctor and he's like, get naked. I need to see if your aura is green so you can be in good health, like you're from Resident Evil and your health bar is green, when you're in good standing health, Take your clothes off. I need to see if you're blinking red. Like, what? We got a freak man on the loose. I don't know. Watch out, dude. If your doctor ever tells you to take your clothes off to see your aura, he just wants to see you naked. Let's move forward in time and talk about night vision goggle technology being, advanced and tested on the battlefield. So it's the 1960s and the Vietnam War is in full effect. America's going to war, spraying Agent Orange all around the country of Vietnam, destroying its jungles and dropping napalm bombs everywhere. And we needed an upper hand on the enemy by seeing at night.
At night.
So the early creations of night vision were made and deployed to the soldiers on the field. This version of night vision is called AN/PVS-2 Starlight scopes, which is an early developed night vision scope, and this changed the game for our soldiers. Because what it does, it amplifies the tiny bits of ambient light, like the moon, stars, and even starlight. Inside the scope was an optical chain of lenses and tubes. Light enters, hits a photocathode, which converts photons into electrons. These electrons were accelerated and slammed into a phosphor screen, producing the eerie green glow. Green was chosen because the human eye can detect more shades of green than any other color, making faint details easier to pick up. Ultimately, this whole process makes it easier to see at night, and apparently these soldiers weren't just seeing people with these lenses. There were reports they were seeing ghosts. Ghost! Ooh! Boo! Boo! Did I scare you? Are you frightened? You poop yourself? Anyways, now we're going to get to the real accounts and real reports of soldiers claiming that they saw ghosts on the battlefield. Here we go. The first account we're going to talk about is from a soldier named Lance. It's common not to leave the last name to keep their identities protected, but his name is Lance, okay? In Lance's account, as reported in between here and there, PDH magazine goes like this. One night, on watch with his platoon sergeant, Lance whispered that he saw a figure appear in the scope, and then he started counting. 2, 3, 4, 5. When it got to 8, he told me. I said, holy shit, there's a company of NVA down there. I saw a motor tube. It was very scary.
He said that there were 200 troops in total on their way to take out a different American company that the North Vietnamese had targeted. Lance and his sergeant immediately sent word to their company to wake everyone up. Within a minute, he said, they lit up those ghostly shapes with everything they had. Lance set aside the M16 with the Starlight scope and picked up his usual M60 machine gun, blasting at the shadows. The barrel got so hot, he worried it might melt. In the morning, they found no bodies nor weapons amongst the helmets and other equipment left behind. Let me get this right, Lance. Dumbass! You shot at a nothing sandwich and you wasted ammo that the taxpayers paid for to fuel the war? I should beat you, Lance. Okay? I don't care if you saw ghosts. I paid for that ammo. We paid for that ammo. Look at me. I'm going to be 1000% honest with you right now, okay? I know that he saw ghosts. You know, I'm not going to lie. Valid reason to call the entire squad to shoot. I'm not going to lie. Another valid reason to start shooting is if a Vietnamese mosquito looks at me wrong. You already know they're big. They're big African mosquitoes. Let a Vietnamese mosquito look at me. I'm blowing the whole jungle apart. Excuse me for my side tangent outburst. We're going to get into the final encounter of, a soldier having a Starlight scope and seeing ghosts through it. So here we go. This second account actually had a full name. The soldier's name is Wayne Kern. Wayne was stationed in the Mekong Delta, and during the time, he was on perimeter duty at night, manning a 50 caliber machine gun. His eyes were pressed to one of the new Starlight scopes, turning the pitch black jungle into a grainy green battlefield. At first, the scope performed as expected. The tree line, the brush, the shimmering outlines of the riverbank all came into focus. Then Kern froze. Through the scope, standing out clear against the green glow, he saw what looked like a man wearing a straw hat. Not moving at all, just there. The hat was a familiar shape, the kind often worn by farmers in the region. But the figure's presence didn't make sense. No movement, no sound, just a silhouette caught in the field of artificial light. Kern recalled that suddenly, everything was illuminated. The scope lit up the world around him, revealing the jungle in haunting detail. His adrenaline spiked and his instincts took over. His finger pulled the trigger. The heavy 50 caliber machine gun roaring to life, tracer rounds ripping through the night. But when the dust settled, there was nothing. No body, no hat, no farmer, just silence in the eerie green glow of the Starlight scope. For Kern and the others who reported similar experiences, the technology was a double-edged sword. It granted sight beyond human limits, but sometimes what it showed was beyond explanation. Now that you guys have heard the accounts of these two soldiers, we're going to go a little bit deeper. Some of you have already probably watched a bunch of videos on the red night vision goggles, the legendary red night vision goggles, which I completely understand. A lot of these videos cover the red night vision goggle legend. You know what I'm saying? Where, World War I, they put the night vision goggles on. It was early development, and then they put them on and they started seeing demons and UFOs, which is actually not true at all. Red night vision goggles were never used in any war whatsoever. I know, shocker, blew your goddamn pants off. I'm not saying red night vision isn't a thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they did not use it in war. That's all I'm saying. All right, that's number one. So that probably brings you to the question, like, why did you teach us about red night vision if they didn't use it in war? Well, one was attempted to be used for medical things like seeing people's aura. That is a real thing that happened. And I wanted to tie that in to the green night vision when people were actually seeing ghosts. I think those two accounts are the most real and realistic things to combine, and they correlate together in a really weird way because they're both goggles in a sense. That's how I wanted to do my little tie-in to what red night vision goggles are and green night vision goggles are, and the elements of how two of these things can play in each other's worlds. One is to see auras and the other one is to see at night, but they caught Casper the unhealthy ghost on there a few times. Let me go on record and correct myself one more time. Not goggles, lenses, okay? They use lenses, scopes, things of that nature, okay? I've been saying goggles the whole time. I'm over here thinking about Call of Duty and shit, but it's really just lenses like scopes and things of that nature for night vision. But that's basically it. You know, I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow the Twitch. This took me a little bit, so I hope you guys leave a comment as well. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what other conspiracy theories you want me to cover. And yeah, man, I'm also streaming today on Twitch. Follow the Twitch. And you know, don't see ghosts through the green lenses. And if you're new here, I upload 2 to 3 times a week. It's gonna be this type of content. So if you want to stick around, hit that subscribe button. But anyways, hope you all have a fantastic day, and we're taking over, and I'm out.